I was having a thought and I'm like, you know what, you should probably just get online and talk about it, because I'm sure there's a lot of people who go through the same similar things or whatnot. But it's like, I just recently started dating again, right? And on a side note, people should date when they're ready to date, not when they just want to pass time by, because I mean, that's where the trouble starts, right? If you're just in it just to pass time, maybe share that information with the person that you're getting involved with, because they may be on the same road to just passing time. I think that when people are authentic with where they're coming from and they are communicating the truth of what they're feeling, no one can get mad in the situation when that time together comes to a close, right? So, for example, if I'm on a dating site and I have the profile that's, stating that I'm here to find, my forever love or whatnot, I know you know where I'm going with this. That would be a little bit manipulative, right? I mean, it's like, no, you're not. You're not here to find your forever love. You're here to just get as many people as you can, and you can chat away with as many people as you can just to inflate your ego, right? To make yourself feel better. Perhaps there's something that you were missing when you were growing up, or perhaps on the flip side, maybe you were some football star or something and your dreams were cut short for one reason or another. I dated someone who was like an all-star basketball person at his high school, mind you. And he lost out on that dream because he got in a car accident and one thing led to another. And I don't know the rest of the story. Who's to say it was even a true story at this point, right? But the point is, he carried that over into his personality. He was thoroughly used to getting attention from everybody. Maybe it comes from childhood when he was a baby. Maybe he was a cute baby. And as he was growing up, he had people always saying, oh, you're so cute. And everything was a big to-do. Kind of like, how she just looked at me when I said that. Even dogs can get used to that kind of attention. And if you grow up and you no longer get that attention, maybe someone would get to the manipulating part of things and figure out a way to continue to get that kind of attention, even if it's something they don't want. They don't want a long-term thing, but they're like, you know what? Girls really like that. And when they think that you're trying to be that, they treat you different, right? Just saying. But the thing that I have to say, I pride myself in being authentic. I don't care if I say something that someone doesn't particularly like, because I'm being authentic and true to myself. And if that part of my personality is something that kind of rubs someone the wrong way or whatnot, the evidence of that is clear. And if that's a continuing thing that's going to happen, it's better to find out now, right? So don't hide who you are. I know that there's these rules or anything, and it's like, oh, you can't, don't be intimate unless it's like 3 dates in or 3 months down the road or whatever. Don't you know that the most general situation, what am I trying to say? People stop getting polite after about 3 months, psychologically speaking. It's just the way it is. They've done research. So you don't even know the real person of who you're dealing with until 3 months down the road. Do you have 3 months that you just want to waste? Unless you're just enjoying the time, and that's fine. And this brings me back to the people on the dating sites that will say, oh, I don't really know what I want. If you don't know what you want, I think that's the answer in itself, right? My mom used to always say, if you have to ask, you have your answer. If you're not sure, then there's your answer. I don't know what I want. That way they can throw it in your face and say, well, I told you when we were dating I wasn't really sure what I wanted. And the person on the other side is just so eager, like, oh, I can change their mind. I can change their mind. You can't change anyone's mind until they're ready to have their mind changed. And it's not going to be by anything you do or say. If they're not in the mindset to do it, they're not going to do it. It's just the way it is. So do yourself a favor and make sure that everyone's on the up and up. And then that way, you can't get mad at anyone else's choices because you made your own choice. You took responsibility for the path that you were taking. Now, on the other hand, if someone's completely lying on their profile, or they're completely lying when they're going on dates with you, and they feel like they've got to say this or that in order to get to you, well, then you have a reason to be kind of irritated about something. But even then, you still take responsibility for your actions. You still have to take responsibility for how far you let yourself get involved in something, not even knowing this person. I mean, granted, you just met. Come on, folks. Can't we all just take responsibility for our own choices, and that way we don't have to have all of these explosions of dysfunctional emotional outbursts? I had a situation at my job and someone wanted to have an emotional outburst. I took responsibility for my safety and I took out leave of absence. Now, had management been on board and had management wanted to, take care of that situation with some kind of meeting or, I forget what that's called, when they sit you down and they say this is what's happened and this is how we're going to fix it. Had they done all that, maybe I wouldn't have had to take an LOA. But I felt threatened. And I felt like I was in danger. Because when I shared it with my managers, she said, "Oh, but he's such a good guy." All right, good guy. Good guys can blow up too, If they're not true to themselves and they don't know how to effectively communicate, good guys are not good guys. Dysfunction is dysfunction, and it shows itself in any kind of way. And it's important for us to be aware of that. It's important for us to see the signs of that. And it's important for us to respect what we are feeling and take measures needed in order to protect ourselves. Wow, that took a turn. Just saying. Take responsibility for the words that you choose, the actions that you take, and the things you believe in. You can always change the way you believe about something. There's nothing wrong with that. The more you learn, the more you figure things out. And that's fine. You can change your opinion. The problem is when we're not honest with others and we're not honest with ourselves. That's where the problem is. And people need to know that it's okay to feel the way that you feel. It's okay to not want to have like a long-term relationship with someone just because you want to spend time with someone. That's all right. There's a lot of people out there who are in the same situation as you and they would love just to spend time with you and not have a long-term relationship. There's nothing wrong with that as long as you're honest about it. It might take a little bit more time to find the situation depending on where you are. But I can guarantee you're not alone in the way that you think. So many times we think that we're alone and we're just the only person who is this way, or we're the only person who does the things that we do. Whatever it may be. Heck, I like ketchup on my macaroni and cheese. I know that's not normal. But I also know there's a lot of people out there that like the same thing. But the difference is, do I hide it? I think all of the trial and errors that I've had to go through in life has just brought me to the point where it's like, you know what? Here I am. Either you're going to like me or you're not going to like me. And half the time, the reasons why you don't like me is because you don't like something within yourself. Just saying. It's just the way it is. There's some people who are in the world who show you who you are without them having to try. Just for existing, merely existing and being a happy presence or just a presence in general. That's enough to piss someone off. Trust me, I've been there. And I did nothing but be me. And I think with all of my videos, people can tell basically who I am. Because you can't fake that. Just saying.